What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because today we're diving into one of the most audacious heists in modern history. October 19th, 2025, the Louvre Museum, Paris, France. The most visited museum on Earth was robbed in broad daylight in just 4 minutes. This isn't a movie plot, folks. This actually happened, and the way these thieves pulled it off, absolutely insane. Before we get into it, if you love this kind of real-life crime content, smash that like button and consider supporting the channel through super thanks, super chat during our live streams, or by becoming a member. Your support keeps these deep dives coming. All right, let's get into it. So here's what went down. Sunday morning, October 19th, 2025. It's 9:30 a.m., just 30 minutes after the Louvre opened its doors to visitors. Tourists are wandering through, snapping photos, admiring centuries-old masterpieces. Everything seems normal. But outside, on the south side of the building along the Seine River, something very abnormal is happening. 4 masked thieves, dressed in balaclavas, pull up in a truck. But this isn't just any truck. It's equipped with a mechanical basket lift, the kind furniture movers use, and they park it right there, in the middle of Paris, without anyone batting an eye. They extend the lift up to a second-floor balcony window. We're talking about the Galerie Napoleonic, the Gallery of Apollo. This is where France keeps its crown jewels, the real deal, Napoleon-era treasures, priceless. 2 of the thieves ride the lift up. They're carrying power tools, an angle grinder, a battery-powered disc cutter, and they just start cutting through the window. Glass shatters, alarms start blaring, museum guards are alerted. But here's the thing. These guys were fast, professional. They knew exactly what they were after. They smashed through the reinforced glass display cases. And in those cases, 8 pieces of jewelry. Not just any jewelry. We're talking about a diamond and emerald necklace that Napoleon gave to his wife, Empress Marie-Louise. A tiara belonging to Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, covered in nearly 2,000 diamonds. Sapphire sets, brooches, earrings, all from French royalty. These aren't just expensive, they're irreplaceable. They're French history. The thieves grab what they can, stuff them in bags, and bolt. They climb back down the lift, hop onto waiting scooters, and vanish into the streets of Paris. Total time, 4 to 7 minutes. The entire operation. By the time security reaches the gallery, they're gone, disappeared, like ghosts. Now, let me paint the scene after the heist. The Louvre, this iconic symbol of culture, art, and history, is suddenly in lockdown. Police swarm the area, forensic teams move in, confused tourists are ushered out through the famous glass pyramid entrance. The museum? Closed. Shut down for investigations. And it's still closed as we speak. Monday came and went. No reopening. The French government is scrambling. Here's what makes this even crazier. Out of the 8 items stolen, 2 were found near the scene. One of them, the crown of Empress Eugenie. Apparently, the thieves dropped it during their escape. It was recovered but broken, shattered. A piece of history, damaged in seconds. And the other big item they missed? The Regent diamond, valued at over $60 million. Experts think they were so rushed by the alarms that they had to abandon some loot. But the rest? Gone. Vanished. Into the criminal underworld. And here's the heartbreaking part. Art recovery experts are saying that if these thieves aren't caught in the next 24 to 48 hours, those jewels, those pieces of history, are probably gone forever. Why? Because professional criminals don't keep these things intact. They break them apart, melt down the valuable metal, recut the valuable stones, erase any trace of their origin. Chris Marinello, CEO of Art Recovery International, put it bluntly. They're going to break them up, melt down the valuable metal, recut the valuable stones, and hide evidence of their crime. These aren't art lovers, they're opportunists, and they see these priceless treasures as nothing more than cash. So, what do we know about the investigation? Well, French police are going all out. We're talking about 60 investigators working around the clock. They're reviewing CCTV footage from all over Paris, tracking the scooter's escape route, analyzing the basket lift for fingerprints and DNA. Interior Minister Laurent Nunez called this a major robbery carried out by an experienced team. Translation: these weren't amateurs. This was planned, scouted, rehearsed. And there's some serious questions being asked right now. Like, how did they park a massive furniture lift outside the Louvre without anyone stopping them? Why was security so weak on that side of the building? And here's a big one. Was there inside help? A preliminary investigation revealed that 1 in 3 rooms in the area that was robbed had no surveillance cameras. Let that sink in. One of the most famous museums in the world, and a third of the rooms had no eyes on them. French Senator Nathalie Goulet said the gallery's alarm system was recently broken. She's calling for a full investigation into whether it was deliberately deactivated. This is raising huge concerns about museum security in France. And it's not just the Louvre. In the past year, the Adrien Dubois Museum in Limoges was robbed. Thieves stole porcelain worth nearly $11 million. The Cognac-Jay Museum in Paris was hid, 7 historic items stolen. The Huron Museum in Burgundy, armed robbers fired shots and escaped with 20th century artworks. There's a pattern here, and it's terrifying. Now, this heist didn't just shake the art world. It exploded into French politics. President Emmanuel Macron called the robbery an attack on a heritage that we cherish because it is our history. He vows that France would recover the jewels and bring the thieves to justice. But not everyone's buying it. Far-right leader Jordan Bardella went hard on Macron, calling the heist an embarrassing humiliation for our country. He tweeted, "How far will the decay of the state go?" And honestly, a lot of French citizens are asking the same thing. How does this happen? How does one of the most famous museums in the world get robbed in broad daylight? Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin didn't hold back either. He said people were able to park a furniture hoist in the middle of Paris, get people up it in several minutes to grab priceless jewels, and give France a terrible image. Ouch. This is embarrassing for France. And the timing couldn't be worse. Macron's already dealing with a fractured parliament, political instability, and public dissatisfaction. Now, this. The Louvre was supposed to undergo a massive $760 million renovation, the New Renaissance project, to modernize security, ease overcrowding, and even give the Mona Lisa its own dedicated gallery by 2031. But for workers and the public, that relief feels way too slow. Now, believe it or not, this isn't the first time the Louvre's been hit. In fact, the museum has a pretty wild history of theft. The most famous? 1911. An Italian man named Vincenzo Peruggia, who worked at the museum as a decorator, walked in dressed as a museum worker, lifted the Mona Lisa off the wall, hid it under his coat, and walked out. No one noticed for 24 hours. The painting was missing for 2 years before it was recovered in Florence. Peruggia says he did it because he believed the masterpiece belonged in Italy. And then in 1956, someone threw a rock at the Mona Lisa, chipping the paint near her left elbow. That's what prompted the museum to put her behind bulletproof glass. But this 2025 heist? It's different. It's bold. It's calculated. And it's a wake-up call. So where do we go from here? Well, the clock is ticking. If these thieves aren't caught soon, those jewels, those pieces of history could be destroyed forever, melted down, sold off in pieces, lost to the world. This heist exposed serious vulnerabilities, not just in the Louvre, but in museums across France and maybe even the world. It's a reminder that our cultural heritage, our history, is fragile, and it needs protection. The investigation is ongoing. French police are working with Interpol, art recovery experts are on high alert. There's hope, but it's a race against time. What do you think? Will they catch these thieves? Could there have been inside help? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Consider supporting the channel through Super Thanks, joining as a member, or dropping a super chat during our next live stream. Your support means the world. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.